to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, you're welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And if you are returning, I really do appreciate your constant returning as well. So yes, today we're going to be talking about one of the most researched topics when you're thinking of migrating to Canada. So yeah, let's get right into it. So two things we're going to be discussing today will be about the accommodation, which includes your rent, and transportation system here. So now let's get into the accommodation first, which is going to be your rent, like I mentioned. So first of all, I'd like you to know that if you're thinking of migrating to Canada, I am going to strongly advise. I've lived in Canada for 3 years. With my own little experience, I would strongly advise that you look for a family member to stay with for the next 2-3 months, so that you can work, and gather a little bit of money in order for you to be able to get your own place. Reason being that landlords or agents are more comfortable giving their homes to people who are already working, who are already in the system, who are working. Otherwise, if you're pocket loaded, like if you have a lot of money, what you can also do is pay like 6 months ahead. Basically, what they're interested in is knowing that you're capable to be able to pay their rent on a monthly basis. They do not want stories. Some of us are coming from countries where we can owe rent for the next 2-3 months and we'll pay our landlords when we get paid our salaries. It doesn't work like that here. Here you pay by the month. Yeah, I'm sure you all know that already. So yes, I'm just trying to let you know that you just need to provide your landlord or your agent with your pay stubs. And in order to do that, you have to be working. So arrange for where you're going to stay. Probably stay in a hotel for the next 2-3 months until you're able to secure a job. And so you can show the necessary document to your landlord. So yes, and also you need to know that you're going to be having to get your first and last payments ready. So when I say first and last, it's not, it means that you're going to be paying ×2 of whatever amount your rent is. The first month is for the first month you're starting, of course. And the last month is the last month whenever you are leaving. Now, if you decide to break your lease in less than 1 year, the minimum year you can sign for is 1 year, okay? So if you decide to break your lease in less than or within 1 year, that means you are most likely going to forfeit that the last month's rent, or even in some cases you're going to be having to pay more, meaning you're going to be fined. Aside from you letting go of your last month, you're also going to be getting a fine for leaving when it wasn't your time for you to leave. So yes, breaking a lease comes with a fine. Also, you might be thinking, you definitely will also want to consider what area you would like to stay. So I'm going to be mentioning some most multicultural cities in Canada. And if you are thinking of this, you might be thinking of Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, and Montreal. Now, a lot of people tend to come to these places when they are coming in because it is quite diversified. No matter where you're coming from, you're going to blend into the system so easily if you come to these few places. Of course, there are so many other places as well. These are just a few I have on my fingertips that I can mention to you. So you're going to feel very welcome. There's nothing from back home where you're coming from that you don't have in these few places. They are definitely going to be more expensive, but yes, they are here, and it makes everything easier for you. So definitely you'll be wanting to live in a place whereby you don't really feel too left out. Also, you might also be consider what area. Like I am basically going to be talking about living in the Toronto area because that is where I live, and I basically live in Scarborough. So if you're thinking of living in the GTA, which is Great Toronto area, and that includes Scarborough where I live. So we have in the GTA we have a couple of areas. We have Scarborough, we have North York, we have Mississauga, we have Brampton, we have Etobicoke, So if you're thinking of living in all of this, some of those places or one of those places that I just mentioned, then I know a little bit about the rent, what the rent is like or what is expected of you. So I'll just be focusing on Scarborough because, like I said, that's where I live. I know more about it. So if you would like to live in Scarborough, those requirements I mentioned earlier to applies. You need to get a job, you need to get your pay stubs, you need to get some document to show to your landlord. Otherwise, you'd be ready to pay 5 months or 6 months ahead. So now if you're looking at getting a townhouse, okay, and also just note that if you're living in downtown are usually more expensive, and the farther you are from downtown, the lower the rent is. So if you're looking at living in a townhouse, okay, of about 2 to 3 bedrooms with either a 2 or 3 washroom, okay, you will be thinking about paying between 2,700 upward, okay. But if you think it's yeah, that's about what it is, and that is not, utilities is not inclusive. If you're thinking of utilities, electricity, water, natural gas, you definitely will be thinking of about $500 upward, which is really ridiculous, right? Yes, I know. But yes, you want the luxury of living in a house or a townhouse. That is exactly what you're going to have to be paying. Now, for some, when you live in such places, for some, they're having to really manage their water, the electricity, so that the bill does not, go beyond a certain amount, which you wouldn't want, right? But I can tell you for a fact from my experience of 3 years, I have lived in an apartment because I'm just trying to cut my code according to my size, right? So yes, living in an apartment is a bit easy. It's easier. It is less expensive, and in terms of the utilities too, it makes a lot of sense. So also in the apartment, if you're thinking of a 2 to 3 bedroom with either a 1.5 washroom or a 2 washroom, okay, you're going to be thinking of paying about between 1,850 to about 2,200, okay. And the good thing about it is that utilities is inclusive. Not all utilities. So you have water inclusive, you have natural gas inclusive. Now for the for electricity, you're gonna have to pay for your electricity, and you're gonna be paying for parking. Now parking ranges between $75 to $120, depending on where you're living, either a house or an apartment. Now, as a student, if you're coming in, most students would rather do shared apartments, or they do a studio apartment. If you're looking into doing a shared apartment, it's also a very good one. But the bad thing is you're gonna have to be sharing with a total stranger. 2 people don't know each other, coming together, living together. It is really, really inconvenient. So you're gonna have to share everything together. The washrooms, the kitchen, the fridge, even food sometimes, right? Yeah, you're gonna have to share all of that together, which is highly inconveniencing, trust me. So yes, but for that, it's between the range of $500, okay, to $600. And if you want the bigger part of the apartment, like you want the washroom to be on your side, you want the room and the washroom, you might also be going a little bit higher than that. So you might be thinking of paying about $800. Yes, between $750 to $800. And it could even be more, depending on what kind of house you're saying. Some could even be about $1,000, right? So it depends on the kind of house that you're saying. So yes, that's about the shared apartments. So also, we're going to be talking about the basement. The basements are really, really, really very good, okay? Because for the same amount you pay for a 2-bedroom apartment, you can pay the same amount for a 3-bedroom basement, okay? And it's even going to give you about 2 or 3 washrooms. Yes, exactly. But the disadvantage of a basement is, number one, during the winter period, it is usually very cold, okay? It's colder when you're living down there. Secondly, it is darker down there, so you don't have the natural lighting. It's not all basements, don't get me wrong. Some basements do have natural lighting because there's a window, but some does not have. So if you're unfortunate to get the type that doesn't have that, it is highly inconveniencing, especially when you have little children. You know, it is very depressing for them. But now the prices between 2 to 3 bedroom, 1.5 washrooms or 2 washrooms is between, like I said, the same amount you pay for an apartment, which is about 1,700 to yeah, between 1,700. Yeah, I don't think it will really go more than that. But don't get me wrong, all the figures that I have mentioned today, all the amounts I've mentioned today, just add or minus $100, okay, because things keeps increasing. So yes, that is that about basement. So now I am going to be talking about transportation. Guys, this is a very this is an important one. Yeah, let me get closer to my camera. So the reason why I say it's important is that, first of all, we know that Canada is really, really cold. And for this reason, for some of us came from countries whereby during our Harmattan season, the weather is just going to be, I mean, the coldest it will get will be about 10 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine coming from such place, from just all the way from 10 degrees Celsius all the way to minus 23 degrees, right? That is a lot. That is really ridiculous. But the thing is, you have to just get yourself ready for it. If you want to live in Canada, then be prepared for the cold in Canada, okay? When you're prepared for it, then you're less likely to complain about it. Like I said, once again, I have lived in this place for 3 years, and trust me, when I hear people say, no, it's too cold, I can't do it, I just smile, because it's not so bad. So it's very simple. Number one advice I have for you if you're moving in here is that be ready, especially as a family, be ready to buy a car. When you buy a car, it is less stressful for you. My first year, all I just had to do, in fact, not just my first, okay, yeah, let me say my first year, I and my husband just got a car of about $1,200. We got a very good deal. And there are lots of very good deals out there. You just have to know the right person to help you check the car, just to be sure the car is really good. It was really sound. We didn't have to do more than servicing the car for good 2 years that we used it before we changed the car. Because when you come in, all you just need is mobility. You don't need luxury, right? So if you're getting a good deal, just go for it. So you need a car to go for groceries, take your family around. You know, you don't want to be walking in the snow when you're really not ready for it. You don't want to be waiting in the bus station when you're really not ready for it. Just ease into the system. Don't just come and you just throw yourself out there into the cold. It's really not necessary for you to do that. So just get a very small car, even if it's just one car in the family, right? It is a necessity. You guys get to use it when it's very necessary. I know the cost of insurance, that is another topic for another day. It can be really high, but trust me, it is part of your preparation for migrating into Canada, you know, preparing to be in here. So yes, you need a car. You need a car in the family, at least minimum of one car in the family. It is very advisable. So if you don't want to get a car, yeah, okay, I'm gonna mention this, just a quick one. When I moved into Canada, all I just had to do with that car, with that cheap car that we got, all I just needed to do was in the morning, dress up. Okay, I live in the I live in an apartment. We have a basement parking. Go into the basement. Of course, I'm fully dressed for the weather. So go into the basement with my kids, take them to school, drop them off at school, then drive myself to work. It was really easy. When I get to my work, I park my car downstairs. I go upstairs to my work. The same routine. Get back into the car, get to the to pick my children. You know, it was a lot easy. Pick them up from school and come back home. So it was not stressful at all. So, but if you don't want to go through that route, it's okay. You can also use the bus and train system. They are also very good as well. So if you want to use the public transportation, the Presto card for the TTC, which is the bus that takes you around town, the TTC is the Presto card is like $6, okay? And for each swipe is about $3. So the first 2 hours ride, okay, after your first swipe, the first 2 hours ride is completely free. The only thing you get charged for is that first swipe. Now for children between 0 to 12 years old is free. For students, they get discounts. For monthly pass, if you're doing a monthly pass, you also get a discount. Now, excuse me, so the busing system is really good, don't get me wrong, okay? So you must download your app, know when your bus is coming, know the best station to stay. Don't miss your bus. You don't want to miss your bus during a cold season. During the winter period, you don't want to miss your bus. Some bus, once you miss it, it could take about 25 minutes to get another bus. So that can be a lot on your body, right? So you don't want to do that. So that is why I advise, if you can't buy a car, if you can't afford to buy a car, like students can't just come in and buy any car, right? I quite understand that. Just be prepared, get yourself prepared. get ready for the cold and prepare yourself. So the transportation is good, just that the proximity to where you're going matters. A journey of 25 minutes could take you 1 hour 25 minutes. It could take you, even longer if you don't know your route, right? So yes, that is that about transportation. That's a little I can say about it. So yes, that's all we are going to be saying today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really didn't want this video to be this long, but unfortunately I think I spoke too much. So yes, we're going to be ending this today, and definitely I'm going to be coming up with more tips on some informations for you. I'll be coming up with some more informations for you about living in Canada. Please watch out for that. If you haven't, please kindly subscribe to my channel, and please press the notification button so that when I upload anything new, you will definitely be getting it. And also like and share my videos. If there's anything you would like to let me know, please comment down below. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a good time. Have a good day rather. Take care of yourself. Bye guys. Love you all.